Welcome. This is the one true divine feminine and psychic investigations tarot. Welcome here. So thrilled to have you today. We're a space of healing, of telling the truth, of presenting new ideas to the world, and also to solving crimes. And yes, I did solve my own crime using astrology. That is true. And it is true that your spiritual DNA is written in the stars, and all it takes is somebody who knows how to read that symbology to help you be able to understand where you are in your life so that you can make a better path, overcome conundrums, latch onto energies when the timing is right, and help steer your life in a great direction. It's a great tool for spiritual wisdom. All right. Well, today we're going to do a little bit of everything, but we're kind of in crime solving mode a little bit because of the things that have been going on. And so, again, the cards have been pre-shuffled, but we're going to begin with the futility card, the Seven of Swords. And this showed up the other day. Usually this has everything to do with stealth, with being sneaky, with hidden agendas, with scam artists, with people doing things behind the scenes to kind of muck up the energy. And that's been happening a lot, not only with my YouTube videos, but in general with my life. And you can see there's a lot of swords working at cross purposes, causing a lot of chaotic energy here. So it's always representative of conflict. And yet we've got one person who's getting stronger and stronger throughout it all, and that is me. And today is a good day for getting stronger because astrologically speaking, we have Mercury conjunct Venus. So we're going to cut through some of the BS, some of the lies, some of the stealth that's been happening. And Mercury conjunct Venus can have a lot to do with truth saying because it's in Sagittarius. And so this can be truth about using kind words, truth about religion, good or bad, right? It can have revelatory effects on love messages or love letters. And can have a lot to do with business deals, right? Because Venus rules money, possessions, things that are valuable to us, not just love mates in our lives. But certainly a lot of this is going to have in the next couple years to do with the truth about various religions coming out. Sagittarius is all about our philosophical path in life. And of course, who's this been happening to? Well, a lot of it's been happening to me. I'm the person everybody's been impersonating. I'm the Empress. I am tapped in to moon energy. I sometimes do see behind the veil. I'm not really psychic like some people, but I do have intuitive hits, and I'm a really good symbology reader. And in doing so, I helped solve my own crime. And of course, while I was doing that, I was protected by the FBI. So of course, I totally love that. I've got the shield right here. I have, good things coming to me. I have a peaceful path ahead. I have been balancing things out in my life. And so that has been really just a lovely feeling. And the whole purpose for that is so that I can begin on a new journey, a passionate journey with the Ace of Wands. And you can tell there's a lot of energy here, a lot of fire, a lot of inspiration, a lot of great things happening. And Ace is always guarded by the divine. So it's always got God's grace looking down upon it. And it's a new beginning, and it's a fiery path, and it's a good path. And for me, it's not only going to be a better path for my family as these crimes get solved, but also as things come in, an ability to help the world, which I like quite a bit. So, and that's great because right now Jupiter is soon to go direct, and Jupiter is a very benefic planet, right? Everything it touches does expand, but it tends to have overall a very positive energy. And it is going to be going back into Pisces. Now, of course, it depends on which house in your chart this affects, but it can be a good time to reflect on daydreaming. It can and it's not going direct yet, so it's still going retrograde, but it is going to be coming direct fairly soon. So while it's in retrograde, daydream, think about creative projects, think about how you can improve your connection with the divine, especially in Pisces, because Pisces has a lot to do with that, which is behind the veil. And so just connecting to those energies, finding a new expansive way to connect to your creator. These are good uses of things when they're in retrograde, is to reflect upon how you can prepare for that period when it is going to go direct. But generally speaking, it's very benefic, and I like that. And of course, all this new journey I'm hoping is going to bring success. Not only in work, but possibly in upcoming contracts, I believe, because there is a new moon in Sagittarius coming in on the 23rd of this month, and it has a great possibility for a big windfall of money, also for the signing of a contract. And I know, of course, that's why so many people have been trying to block my videos, because I still have people who are trying to steal my energy from me to be me, but I'm really the one, right? So anyhow, we'll see what happens, but good things could potentially come around the 23rd. There's a very nice lineup of energy going on with that. So we'll see if the success does come in. In the meantime, things have been fairly burdened, right? With the 10 of Wands, it's like people have been placing wands upon my back to slow me down, to halt me, to keep me from working, to keep me from being me, to shut down my light as a human being. And I've been carrying these wands for quite some time, but I'm ready to let my light shine out onto the world. I think if anybody is going to be me, it ought to be me, the one true divine feminine, right? This was my journey. I wouldn't have chosen it for anything in the world, but it has made me a stronger person spiritually and in every other way possible. I have overcome more odds carrying all these wands than you could ever possibly imagine. If I told you everything I have been through, it would shake you to your core, truth be told. And yet good things have come out of it, including the fact that we still have a democracy. So I have things to be very grateful for. I do have a truly wonderful Hierophant helping me right now. I know that. I don't know who it is, but this is a really godly person. And you know I don't suffer fools. So I don't like people that wave the talisman and then do everything like this behind the back, right? I like people to walk their walk and talk their talk. And when they do that, I have great respect for people like this. And in fact, quite some time ago, I went to try to go meet this person, and guess who showed up in the middle of that to block me? It was the devil, and that's the truth. And the devil came in and intervened in that journey because they could see that if I met up with the Hierophant, good things could come down to the earth. And the devil doesn't want that. The devil wants things to be bound and chained to him, right? Him only. And so the devil made a concerted effort to keep me away from this particular person with lots of lies and slanders, and by hiding things that they knew were true that they were hiding behind their back, right? Absolutely hiding stuff. And that stopped this journey. But I don't even know if this is the same Hierophant or another Hierophant, but I'm truly good with good, godly people who, care about others, who are empathetic, who try to do the right thing, who help people to shine, who help good things to come to earth, who don't try to hold people back or gang stalk or any of that stuff, but really want good things to happen. Because a truly enlightened person, like this man right here, he's got the light of God around his head. He would want that, right? A truly godlike person would want the best for every individual. And when he's in this upright position, his heart center is completely lit up. So I'm totally down with good Hierophants. I always have been, but I don't suffer fools. People who are using their energy like this to do evil things in the world, pretending to be this. No, I don't like that. You're in the upright, trying to do good things in the world, trying to get to the truth, trying to help people. God bless you. Hierophant. I might know who you are, I might not, but whoever you are, I'm very appreciative for what you're doing. And part of what this person is doing is helping to cut through the illusions, the lies, the slanders, and the things that people did horribly to earn and steal money. There were a lot of lies told. All this dark, murky energy and swords is all about cutting to the truth. And so for a long time, these lies held water, right? They kept me held back. They were meant to destroy my life completely, and they nearly did so. However, because of good people, Hierophants included, we are cutting through the truth. The light is coming out. This woman is now stepping out of the murk and the muck and is ready to shine her light out onto the world. And it has taken a long time to get here, folks. It's been quite a spiritual journey, more than you could ever imagine. And for the truly godlike people that we have in this country that understand you should always want a person's light to shine like a bright beaming light across the world, that's a beautiful thing. And I would want a truly godlike person who's a Hierophant for their light to shine equally as well, even if we don't agree on everything, because it comes down to the soul of the matter, what's inside of the person. And if the person is teaching good things and helping and trying to make the world a better place, it's like they have all of the four directions of the world protecting the journey. And I'm totally good with that. And I always have been, right? I hold a lot of the same beliefs, even though I am a tarot card reader and an astrologer. And of course, by bringing the truth to light, hopefully there will be more stability in my life. I've had people do everything in their power to destabilize me as a person, from starving me out of jobs to keeping me from working. Yesterday on the computer, the day before, was just terrible. People trying to block me from work. Today was much better. Trying to call ahead and stop me from working, and just trying to destabilize my marriage, everything you can imagine, right? However, slowly but surely, stability is returning. And this is great because we've got Venus right up here and Aries, right? And so there's like a fire-like energy to bring peace, tranquility, and love back into my life. And again, thank you, Hierophant, or all good Hierophants, right? I've always been good with it, to be honest. I just don't like it when we get to the upside down part. And you wouldn't like it with an upside down astrologer either, right? So, and part of this journey has been the Grim Reaper, trying to get rid of the things that no longer serve, cutting the strings and the puppet masters and the people that try to control you in order for them to do well or to get away with very stealthy crimes while they hide what they're doing. It's cutting through the illusions and everything that no longer works. And I think this has a whole lot to do with the eclipse we had on November 8th. We had the North Node conjunct the moon, which has, again, everything to do with emotions and family and the direction we're meant to head in. However, in this particular instance, it was opposite the sun. The sun was in the 12th house. For a lot of people, not everybody, but secret sorrows, self-undoing, things that are hidden in the background. We also had a square from Saturn to Uranus, and this really reflects where we are in this country right now, because Saturn has everything to do with that which is tried and true, old hierarchies, old ways of doing things, rules, regulations, law enforcement, just the things that have always been, it's this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Well, we're going through a transition in our country where we're seeing more other ideas pop up, and that's Uranus. Thinking outside of the box, maverick things, new ways of approaching problems, new forms of spirituality, new ways of connecting with God and the divine, and still the same energy, right? Just a different pathway forward. And so we had a really kind of a hard angle on that. And we still have that. That's going to impact us for the next 6 months. And yet we're all talking the same language, right? We're all looking to the beautiful creator that we have on high. So it's just, this friction point right here that's making things difficult. Now, depending upon which house those planets fall in, it could be impacting your work. It all depends on where the action is taking place. Now, for some people on this eclipse, they wanted to come and get me during the eclipse, and then the representation of Saturn showed up because that could also equal law enforcement shutting down a plot to one more plot to come and try to get me. So in this case, that was good cops, honest, decent cops, cutting through the crap to help save my life once again, and how very appreciative I am. So Saturn has its place in the world. People tend to fear Saturn, but Saturn is there to provide structure, to provide rules and regulations and a firm place to stand upon. And when things get out of control, you need the Grim Reaper sometimes to come in and take care of business and make sure that people don't come and try to, kill you, for instance. And of course, why is the devil trying to hang on so tightly? Because the devil's done a lot of bad things, right? These are addictions and things that bind people, like owing money maybe to mobsters or to situations that they have bound themselves to, whatever they are, drugs, alcohol, gambling, various things that tend to just suck the life out of a human being. Rather than being free, it's like you're trapped in a never-ending cycle or bubble. And that's what the devil is all about. Whenever you see the devil in a reading, especially when it's directly under stealth and lying and manipulation, you want to be very careful, right? Do your best to avoid this energy, because that which binds tends to be very evil, right? People trying to bind people with evil, evil, evil stuff, like nasty pictures or whatever it is, right? For nefarious purposes. And this is not godlike. That's true devil-like energy. And I have real law enforcement and real hierophants helping with all of that. And of course, the goal is to get to a point of happiness, satiety, where your cups are overflowing. And of course, when Jupiter goes direct, I think that that's going to happen. I do think contracts and deals are going to come in around the new moon in Sagittarius. However, I would recommend not signing any deals, say, from December 29th for several weeks thereafter, because Mercury will be running retrograde then. And when things are retrograde, that's not a good time to sign deals, because a lot of times there's things in the contract that aren't good, that aren't true or beneficial, or things get changed, or there's some kind of monkey wrench that happens, or the computer breaks or whatever. So it's not good to sign things when you have that happening with Mercury going backwards. All right, I'm just going to take a look here. All right, and right now we have the Hanged Man energy. So I'm kind of in between worlds, right? I'm regaining my strength from what's happened to me. So many people trying to be me that, in essence, they literally tried to suck my life force energy right out of me. But I've been healing, overcoming, balancing. And right now I'm just kind of hanging tight, right? Waiting for things to happen, trying to put good things out into the world so good things come back. And rather than feeling like I'm nailed to a cross, I'm going to use my wisdom, which you can see by these rays of energy here. And eventually I'm going to engage the strength of this serpent down here, which has everything to do with transformation and healing and beginning a new journey. And then I will no longer be hanging upside down, but I'll be going on my new life's journey, right? But sometimes it's okay to be upside down while you're working on getting things sorted out and in place, right? And healing. Because we all go through difficult journeys in our lives, right? This one was a 3 of Swords. It felt more like a 10 of Swords, but it had everything to do with heartache. And it wasn't over love, but it was over people trying to steal my life energy from me for whatever reason. because they don't want to see another person's light shine, maybe because they're angry because they got caught in some things and they wanted to retaliate. Maybe because they wanted to try to put you in a third party energy and you were like, I'm not really interested in that. But you can see whatever that was, it was murky, it was dark, it was full of illusions and lies and heartache, most of which I avoided because, I'm not interested in that. So, anyhow, walking away with God's protection is the best gift on earth, right? Because nobody deserves to be put into, that kind of thing. So, all right. And it's been also about alchemizing stuff. This is a unique card out of the Crawley deck, and it's about balancing opposites. And you can see the two faces up at top, the yin and the yang, fire and water, alchemizing down here, a white beast and a dark beast, and trying to take the good and the bad, put them together and come out with something that's got strength and power and foundation beneath it so that you can take the worst that happens in your life and turn it into something good. I don't know why, but I also do get a little bit of a feeling of the kitchen witch here because of all the brewing of the potions. And of course, that scares me a little bit. I'm not real fond of witches, as you know, at least not bad witches. So I'm not real fond of people that cook up poison and try to kill families, stuff like that there. All right. And that actually probably happened to my husband 3 times, right? So people were in my house. People did plant poisons. People did try to kill us. And it's only been through the grace of people like the emperor that we have survived, right? The emperor is an upright guy. He's a strong guy. He's been through all the male characters in the deck. He uses his strength wisely. That's why he's got a crown. He's got a wand. He's protected. It's like he's a leader. He's got the flag here, and he uses his wisdom and knowledge wisely to help bring peace and balance to the world. So these are the good law enforcement guys out there, the good FBI guys, the lawyers who ring true, the judges who are truly just, right? Who can pierce through what's going on and the garbage and see what's actually happening in order to bring stability back to the world. And thank you very much. I appreciate that. More than you know. And again, I don't need or want an ostentatious lifestyle. So I'm more about trying to help bring peace and happiness and better things to my country, which we desperately need right now. So to do that, we need to get to the heart of the matter of what's going on in our country. And I know the FBI is digging like crazy to take all the incoming information, all the swords here, and pierce right into the center of it and figure out what happened, why it happened. And then my hope is that we find solutions to what happened, right? Which is to find a way to move forward with our country where we're not relying on big lies and cheating and disinformation and Russians and all that crap, but to come up with a plan that's consciously made, piercing to the heart of the matter, making things work for everybody without all of the disastrous stuff that we've been through, the calamity, the riots, the smearing of poo on the walls of our Capitol, but to find a more higher vision, a more godly vision of how we can all bring God down to earth in our own fashion, right? Because we all want to bring God to earth in our own fashion, except for atheists, and I'm okay with them too, right? Because I had a dear friend who was an atheist, and he was a great guy. So we all have our own unique paths, but it's all about getting to the heart of the matter, right? And we need to do that. And for those who are experiencing extreme hardships over the November 8th eclipse, just remember things will get better when you start obeying by Saturn's rules, right? And you won't get stopped in your car when you try to jump in and come visit the person that you're trying to knock off, right? So Saturn's there for a reason, and the lessons will keep popping up until you learn what they are. And of course, the goal of all of this miraculous energy is to create change. And this has the sign of infinity, right? Energy flowing. The snake is there. We have transformation, hopefully potential healing for our country. We have two of discs, Jupiter and Capricorn. So luck and money, luck and work. Luck and finances. Let's hope so, because I will say that November 8th eclipse does have some difficult potentialities for the country for the next 6 months because of the square to Saturn and Uranus. There could be some upsets with the banking systems, with laws and regulations with banking systems, with collapses, with markets failing suddenly. That is possible. We also could have earth tremors or earthquakes, because Taurus has everything to do with the earth, and sudden storms, violent storms, that sort of thing. So we do have that potential from the eclipse. Usually the eclipse energy lasts 6 months, sometimes even a couple years, but 6 months. But we can also hope for, while that's going on, luck and work, luck with new contracts, luck with good deals, possible windfalls of money coming in around the new moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd. So I'm trying to combine my astrology and tarot, right? I am more of an astrologer than a reader, though I've always played with the cards. But I'm more of an astrologer. And I love to look at the insight that the cards and the astrology provide into what's going on in a person's soul. And it can be quite revealing to somebody that knows. And of course, if you're trying to solve crimes, this can be extremely beneficial. And in fact, this helped to solve my own crime. And as it turns out, I think the FBI will back me up. I was pretty much dead on right on everything I said. Not to brag, but I have studied for 15 years. And it's good to be able to use your skills to help. It's not about bragging. It's about using your knowledge to bring good things to the world. And to me, solving crimes is a good thing. Astrology should only ever be used to do good things. It should never be used to destabilize a person, to wreck their marriage, to do this, to that. That's tools of the devil. Astrology was never meant for that. It was meant to be a spiritual path of wisdom and of connecting to God. Okay, not to this entity right here. Okay, and those are words of wisdom from the high priestess, right? Because we want to bring good things to earth. We want to tap into what's behind the veil, right? We want to be able to connect to that God energy. We've got the moon here. We can see the energetic grid of the cosmos. It's about connecting to the divine, however you do it. I often do it with dreams, sometimes with intuition, with meditation, with hypnosis, with astral projection. When I'm very, very lucky with nature, I connect in a variety of ways, and we all do it differently, right? Chanting, yoga. And so it's all about finding your way that brings good things into your life, the fruition of connecting to the divine, shown right here. So that when things get tough, like they do, you can tap into that camel energy and know that you have everything inside of you to make it through the worst possible times, because you're a self-contained soul unit with your tools packed inside to help. And that's the joy of the high priestess energy, is using your knowledge wisely to bring good things to earth. Now, oddly, again, the person who dreams and intuition and astrology, when they're in the upright, has a lot of similarities to the Hierophant in the upright, right? Only we sometimes don't equate the two. But there is some strong truth to that. It's about trying to bring higher wisdom, and you can see in both instances there's light around their heads, down to the earth to bring good things. So we have far more in common than you could ever possibly imagine. But most people don't know anything about this energy, so they tend to be afraid of it. But in truth, when this is in the upright position and not dark artsy, casting witchcraft spells and stuff like that, um, there's a lot of similarities between the two. It's just a different path, right? And of course, how did I get here? I got here by going through the dark night of the soul for quite some time, right? You can see the dark night of the soul right here, all the darkness. And yet I went inwards. At first, I didn't do well because what I went through was so overwhelming. I wasn't sure I was going to survive. But eventually, I decided that I did want to get through. And then I started tapping into my inner resources, my inner light, my healing ability, that which I carry within me, which is my spirit, which is a beautiful spirit to shine out into the world, which is why nobody should ever want to stop another person's light from shining, because it's just not godlike. You want that beautiful energy of each person to come forth. And it was that godlike energy inside of me that helped me to overcome all of the stuff that happened, right? And yes, at times was it difficult. I had some snakes in the grass that were not so nice. I had some wolves that were chasing me. And oddly, there's 3 of them right here. And yet I am trying to birth something new into the world. Here's the egg with the transformative snake, not the bad snake, but the transformative one. And so going inside is what is helping me to birth that new world order, right? And I laugh because these 3 heads remind me of the dream that I had, which had everything to do about the 3 abominable snowmen. And I bet the FBI could name these 3 snowmen, and this is how it works for me. And I was hiking in a dark wooded area in the mountains, and I came to a crossroads in the woods. I could have gone up to the left on my own, all by myself, except for I had my cat in my arms. But it was dark, and I wasn't sure I wanted to do that. Or I could go kind of skirt around the mountain. But in order to do that, I had to go by some really scary looking abominable snowmen, like raging beasts. And yet, on this path, I had the sense that not only did I have my cat in my arms, but I had a silent partner who was helping me. And that person bravely went into the pack of raging snowmen first. Now, that could have been a Hispanic man, I've heard, who went down into the covens to deal with a whole pack of people all by himself bravely. Could have been him. Thank you so much if it was. Could have been police officers, FBI guys. I don't know who my silent partner in the. It could have been many of you, actually. Could also have been the truly godlike person who I'm so grateful for what you're doing. But I have had at least one, if not many, silent partners. And they went into the pack of evil snowmen first. And I knew I was going to have to go in. But at that point, I had like ironclad leggings on, like Iron Man. That went halfway up my legs. And after he broke up the energy, I was able to go through the pack of snowmen myself. So again, I know I have kind of a weird connection sometimes to the divine, but I do have telling dreams often. And I have learned to read the symbology. And it is a way I connect with God. And it's very powerful to me. So anyhow, I'm so glad you could join me. I'm very appreciative of everything everybody has done to help birth this new me. I really am. This almost killed me. This would have killed most people, no doubt about it. And yet I stood firm, and we still have a democracy, right? But we need to come to the table and talk and work things out so that this works for everybody, right? We shouldn't be fighting as Americans. We should be sitting down together and figuring out the path forward. And even though we're different, right, we have a lot of similarities, more than you could ever know, right? But you never asked, right? You just, sometimes people make assumptions. So Same energy, same God, right? I add in some stuff. I like Buddhism and Hinduism and Native American stuff and a few other things, but I still look to the same creator, right, as this person right here. So, but that's part of the New World Order, right? Not saying anything has to go, just that we're in a state of flux, the Uranus square Saturn, right? And I think there's room for everything. Um, we just need to find a way to make it work for everybody. All right, to all the good people who have helped keep me alive, thank you more than you could ever possibly know. God bless.